right, we're here with the distance coach for Fresno State, Sean McManus, in his 8th year, and here at the final day of the NCAA Championships. A big day for Anne-Marie. Talk about her race today.
Yeah, I thought strategically she did a really good job at the beginning, kind of put herself in the perfect spot. We were expecting Marta from Mississippi State to maybe be a little more aggressive at the beginning. I think most people probably were expecting that based on her history. But she didn't really force the pace at all until the second lap, so we kind of got a little bunched up there, but they kind of ran negative splits throughout the first 3 laps, and when they made that move, she wasn't really able to cover, unfortunately, but she rallied up at the end, passed a few people to finish in the top 8 and score a few points and make the first team All-American list, which was kind of our reasonable goal coming into today. We thought she could have finished a little higher if she had a great day, but overall I think she'd be pleased to be on the podium and score some points for the school. And different circumstances, maybe a top 3 finish would have been possible, but we're happy with that today.
And you've seen her evolve now. This is her 4th year with the program. What have you seen the biggest difference this year with her training and her racing?
I think really last year was where we saw a breakthrough with her kind of confidence level with training and racing. She came in, as like a 4:35, 4:36, 1,500 meter runner, and she didn't have a lot of background in cross country or just longer distance training or racing 5Ks or 3Ks or any of that. She was 8:15 only. So it took a couple years to get her to kind of fully appreciate that type of training and strength training through the winters. And last year we really saw that kind of not only allow her to be confident, but to show results on the track. And this season she really was all in from the beginning. So she kind of knew from the outset if she was really aggressive with the training, she'd see good results. And we were able to see that throughout the indoor and the outdoor season. It was pretty consistent. She didn't have one bad race, which I think is a testament to her ability to step out there and perform at a pretty high level each and every time. So at this level, those girls are all pretty close together on any day. Could be anyone's race to win. So she's been pretty consistent. We're proud of her for that.
I mean, this conference is not an easy conference if you're a distance runner with New Mexico and Boise State, and I'm sure some individuals from other schools too. Talk about how she's stepped up to those challenges.
Yeah, I mean, when we moved over to the Mountain West Conference a couple years ago, we knew it was going to be a step up in competition, competitiveness, I should say. In New Mexico, I mean, they just had a young lady win the steeplechase, and they had a girl in the 1,500 final, and they've got a high-ranked 5K person, and Boise State's been doing really well, and I think 3 girls from the Mountain West scored in the 10K the other night, so it's one of the top distance leagues in the country for sure. And we've kind of enjoyed going and getting to know those athletes a little bit in terms of racing against them, and you develop rivalries kind of over time with those people when you see them at the bigger meets and at the conference meets. And Sophie from New Mexico beat her at the conference meet. The last indoors was the last time that they raced the same event. Actually, she beat her again outdoors at one of the early invitationals too. So she knew coming in that was going to be somebody to watch. So it's definitely driven our motivation for training, and given us some people to kind of think about while we're training for these races. She does a lot of training on her own because of her class schedule for one, but also just her ability level. She's a cut above some of her training partners, so to kind of use those techniques to strategize and motivate is it's helpful.
Have you seen an increase in her base training to help her be stronger in the year compared to previous years?
Yeah, it's been a really long, slow process to do that. Like when she came in, she had very little kind of base training experience, and so even now, I mean, she probably got up into the mid-50s miles per week in the winter, without a lot of emphasis on track training, just threshold runs and tempo and some longer kind of 5K pace, intervals on the grass. And then this time of year, she's only been running like 40 miles a week or less probably for most of the outdoor season. So there's still a lot more in the tank for her. I think sky's the limit really in terms of her ability to continue to improve, because she's still got probably 1 or 2 or 3 more levels that she can take her training. Hopefully we have enough time for her to get there before she graduates or hangs up the spikes. But yeah, I think she could really certainly be a 4.0 something 1,500 meter girl. Thought we could do it this year, but that'd be the goal for her next year for sure.
Talk about her kind of as a leader on the team, but also in the classroom, to talk about what she means to this team.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of no one's a perfect student athlete, of course. We all have things we can improve on, but she's definitely the kind of young lady or young athlete that you like to have on your team. She's leads by example. She's not the most outspoken person, so she's not, you know, the rah-rah type of person. I think, you know, coming in from Germany with the language barrier, you know, at the beginning, and the cultural differences, that wasn't really her style, but she's certainly led by example since she's been with us, and, you know, total commitment and sacrifice. We were just talking, you know, now she gets to go have her ice cream, and her, you know, she's cut out, you know, a lot of those kind of temptations and stuff. So, I mean, just, you know, leading by example. And then in the classroom, she's, you know, almost a straight A student, just graduated in engineering, and will be starting a grad program here in the fall. And she's, I think, a 3.8 GPA, and graduated as a top international student this year in the whole campus. So she's won a lot of awards academically on campus as well. So she had some, probably not a lot of student athletes here that have the engineering genes, you know, pulling for them and watching them, you know, but we get that a lot from her professors and the folks on campus, because she's made a big impact there with those departments also. So it was a pleasure to have on the team and on campus.
Congratulations, nice job today.
Thank you, appreciate it.